Hi, this is Tam Wendell with BushcraftOnFire, and today I'm going to show you how you can make a simple purse, pouch if you will, using cordage, or in my case today I'm just going to be using some sisal twine. Now what I've done is I went over to the wood pile and I took off a piece of bark. I just used the axe and cut off the top and bottom. Then using the saw on my knife, I cut in little grooves, as you can see, along the top and again along the bottom. There's nothing fancy. I'm just showing you something you can use while you're out in nature instead of using supplies you have in your home. So I'm going to begin by using this jute twine, and I'm going to thread up and down through each of these grooves that I've made. Now I'm going to take my twine. This one I made a little bigger. I'm going to place my thumb on here. I'll come up, and then I'm just going to make a simple square knot. And then I'm going to continue winding in the same spot. And I'm not going to do this super tight because I do need room to weave with. And I'm going to come back up to this side, cut it off, and put a knot in here. Now as you can see, I have they're called warps on the bark, front and back. They're not super tight. And then I'm going to use this sisal to do the wefts with. Now I'm going to have to use up all of this. We're going to have to string it through here. So I'll show you what we're going to do with that. Now this part looks easy. I'm going to use the back end of my twine and simply over, under, over, under. Now the reason I use the back end is because if I pull this through, this is going to be the handle. So we're going to leave an extra bit through here so we can knot. Now I have to flip over the board, and this is where I use the other end, and I put a little duct tape to make it easier. Now it's easier to pull the cordage through the middle where the twine's looser. Now as you noticed, this is the bottom, so the cordage has to always go around the bottom edge, but it's not going to go around the top, otherwise I wouldn't have an opening. So now to come back, I have to flip my wood around and begin again, and what I'll do is weave through each one again, pull it through, come under here, and I'll just be making the same pattern back and forth and back and forth. I'll show you again in a bit when I've gone a few more times around with the twine. As you're weaving, the ropes will begin to be tighter, so you can just use a piece of stick as a warp spreader, and that'll allow your twine to pull through without damaging your twine. and make it a lot easier to pass through as well. Now as you're coming back over, every time you add a line, make sure you're even on the edge, and then just push to snug them all up. And then we'll start over on this side and continue weaving, and be back again in a bit when I've got more weaving done. As you can see, the strings are getting a lot tighter, so the stick is coming in real handy. Still able to snug them up. So this is what we have so far. And we're going to keep on working. We're running out of room to place any more twine as these pieces are getting really tight, so I'm on my last pass on this side of the board, and we'll make one more pass through here, because then we'll have to, I had tucked this away earlier so it wouldn't be in my road, so that we're able to bring it up and make our handle. So that's what I'm doing now, is finishing my last pass. Pretty snug now. Now that I've used up as far as I can go with my weaving, I'm going to take these, slide them through the ends of the strings, twine. And now we're going to have to break off the ends so we can get the wood out. Now what I'm doing is breaking up the bark. That's why I use bark, so that it'd be something I'd be able to break up on the edges so that I can slide it out. Alright, now what I've done is I've broken up the bark inside so that I can simply remove it. And as you can see, you have a woven pouch. So then you just have to pull up the sides snug, and then what you do is, depending on what length of a bag you want, is how long you can make your handle. If you want it over your shoulder or just something you attach to your waist. So the sun's going down here, and you can see the basket is complete, and I just want to thank you for joining me in making a primitive style handbag or little tote. Now, whatever size you want, it is going to be the size of the frame you start with, but just remember, the bigger the size, the longer twine you'll have to work with. I'm Tam Wendell with Bushcraft on Fire. Have a great evening, and we'll see you soon on another video.